Your wife is sitting here with her boyfriend right now, running up charges on your cards. My name is Martin Koch. I'm 35 and build single-family homes in Dortmund. My brother, Sven Albrecht, called me from his casino in Baden-Baden. It was Tuesday, 9 p.m., and his words hit me like a punch to the chest. "What are you talking about?" I asked, setting down my coffee cup. "Anya's on a business trip in Frankfurt. She flew out to Frankfurt today." Sven's voice grew quiet. "Martin, I'm looking at her right now. She's been sitting at the blackjack table with a guy in a suit for 3 hours. Just paid $2,000 for room service with your platinum card." I walked to the kitchen window and stared into the void. Anya's car wasn't in the driveway. Of course, it was at the airport. Her train to Hanover for her quarterly meeting had left at 9 a.m. "Are you sure it's her?" I asked. "Same blonde hair, same laugh, same wedding ring you showed me in photos." Sven paused. "Martin, she doesn't act like someone on a business trip. She's all over that guy." I sank heavily onto a kitchen chair. 3 years married, 5 years together before that. Anya worked as a financial advisor at Schulte Partner Financial Consulting downtown. She earned good money, never asked me for anything, always paid her share. "Maybe you're mistaken," I said, but Sven disagreed. "I checked the card number. It's yours. She's paying for meals, drinks, shows. He paid for the room, but everything else is going through your accounts." My chest tightened. "What does he look like?" "Tall, dark hair, around 40, expensive watch." They're laughing like old friends. I hung up and called Anya's mobile, straight to voicemail. Tried again. Nothing. Upstairs in the bedroom, I grabbed her documents for the supposed trip. 3 days in Hanover, Steigenberger Hotel, conference at Messe Frankfurt. Everything looked normal, but Sven had never lied to me in 37 years. Not once. I checked the hotel confirmation. The phone number was different from the one she'd given me yesterday. The conference itinerary looked generic, almost too clean. Then my phone vibrated, a text from an unknown Baden-Baden number. Attached photo. "Sorry, brother." In the picture, Anya, in a red dress, pressed close to a man in a dark blue suit, his hand on her thigh. She was smiling the way she hadn't smiled at me in months. I stared at our wedding photo on the dresser. Inside me, everything went cold and silent. I'd met Anya years ago at a construction trade fair in Kassel. She worked at a booth for a construction supply company. Smart, witty, knew more about construction loans than most builders. When I started my own company 4 years ago, she helped me with the financial plan. We bought the house in Freiburg together, 50-50. She handled investments. I handled real estate. It seemed fair. Anya traveled regularly for work, once a month, sometimes to Dortmund Kassel, sometimes longer trips to Bavaria or Hesse. Regional sales meetings, she called them. She'd come back tired but satisfied, complaining about boring lectures and bad hotel food. In hindsight, there were signs. She started dressing more elegantly for these trips, new clothes, expensive makeup. The company wants a more professional appearance. I believed her. Her phone became off-limits, used to sit on the counter while she showered. Now she took it everywhere, password-protected. Our sex became scheduled, predictable, as if she were just fulfilling an obligation. 3 months ago, she mentioned wanting to visit Baden-Baden. We never do anything exciting. I suggested we go together. She said she needed girl time, maybe with her sister. That trip supposedly never happened, or did it? I logged into our joint credit card statements. Anya usually handled finances, but I had access. What I found made my stomach turn. February, 3,200 in Baden-Baden. The weekend she claimed to be in Wiesbaden. January 2nd, 800 she said she was at her sister's in Magdeburg. December, $1,400 the weekend of the Christmas party, after which she'd supposedly stayed overnight in the city. Month after month, going back months, Baden Baden charges appeared, hotel rooms, restaurants, shows, shopping, all on my cards. I called Sven back. I need your help. What do you need? Everything. Every trip, every euro, every companion. Sven was quiet for a moment. Are you sure you want to know this? She's been lying to me for 8 months with my money. Yes, I'm sure. All right, I'll handle it. Casino surveillance keeps everything. Financial data too. Give me 2 days. 2 days later, Thursday evening, he called back. Sit down. I was in my workshop behind the house, sanding kitchen cabinet doors for a client. I set the sander aside and leaned against the workbench. Tell me. Her name's been in our system for 10 months. Always with the same man, Frank Wagner, a regular from Bavaria who owns a construction equipment company. 10 months before, you'd even talked about marital problems. He stays in our presidential suites. Anya takes her own room, but always with a connecting door. She uses your cards for everything, except the hotel room. He pays for that. I closed my eyes. How much total? Over 47,000. 47,000. Nearly half a year's profit from my company. There's more, Sven said. I spoke with our head of security, a guy named Uwe Becker. He's monitored regulars for 15 years. He says, Anya and Frank act like an established couple, completely routine. Routine how? I asked. They have their regular restaurants, favorite shows. She has a standing hair appointment at the spa. They always sit at the same blackjack table. The dealers know them. I sat down on my workshop stool. My legs felt weak. Sven, I need everything. Every receipt, every surveillance photo, every detail. Martin, what are you planning? I'm thinking my wife has been stealing from me for 10 months to fund an affair. I'm thinking she lies to me every time she walks out that door. I'm thinking she comes home and gets into bed beside me after spending my money on another man. My voice rose, but I couldn't stop. I'm thinking she probably laughs about what an idiot I am, and is already planning to take half of everything I've built when she eventually leaves. Calm down, brother. No, I stood up. Not calm. She wants to play with my money, with my trust. Fine. But she'll learn I'm not as dumb as she thinks. Sven was silent for a moment. What do you need from me? Everything you can get. An unbroken record every time she was there. Every euro she spent. Every lie she told me. And I want it documented so thoroughly that no lawyer, no judge, no family court can doubt it. That'll be a lot of evidence. Good. Because when I'm done, she'll know exactly how it feels when someone you trust destroys everything you thought was real. I looked around my workshop tools I'd bought with money she'd stolen from me, projects I'd worked on while she lay in bed with another man. Can you do this, Sven? Yes, I can. Give me a week. One more thing. She can't find out. Not yet. Understood. I hung up and tried to keep sanding, but my hands shook too much. Friday afternoon, Anya came home smiling, carrying a gift bag. How was Hanover? I asked, sitting at the kitchen table with my laptop. Boring, as always, but I brought you something. She set the bag in front of me. Inside was a coffee mug with Hanover's skyline and a packet of local coffee beans. Thanks, I said. How was the hotel? Fine, nothing special. You know how these business accommodations are. I nodded and opened the credit card statement on my laptop. While she unpacked her suitcase upstairs, I scrolled through the expenses. Baden Baden, Baden-Württemberg, Wednesday to Friday. Dinner at steak restaurant, 340 spa treatments, 200 T. 80 shopping at Co Gallery, Düsseldorf, 650 show tickets, 200 not a single charge from Hanover, Lower Saxony. Honey, Anya called from upstairs. Can you help me? I closed the laptop and went up. She was hanging clothes in our closet new things. A black dress with the price tag still on. A silk blouse that cost more than my weekly groceries. What do you need help with? I just wanted to see you. She smiled and kissed me. I missed you. The kiss felt like poison. Did you take any photos from the conference? I asked. Oh, you know me. I'm hopeless with my phone. Besides, it was just boring presentations. I helped her hang the clothes and went back downstairs. That evening, we ate dinner and watched TV as if nothing were wrong. Anya seemed relaxed, almost carefree. She kept seeking my closeness, cracking jokes. I played along, but inside, I felt like I was drowning. Saturday morning, she said she'd go shopping with her sister, Ramona. As soon as she left, I called Ramona. Hey, Martin, what's up? I just wanted to ask if you two are having fun shopping. Silence. Martin, I haven't spoken to Anya in 3 weeks. Is everything okay? My chest tightened. Yeah, sorry. I must have misunderstood. She said she was meeting a friend. I thought she meant you. Definitely not me. But tell her to call me. We need to talk. Another lie. Even her Saturday plans were fabricated. I called Sven. The surveillance footage is better than I hoped, he said. Our cameras cover everything. The gaming floor, restaurants, elevators, even the parking garage. I've got 3 straight days of her with Frank on video. Can you send me samples? Already done. Check your email. I opened the files. Sven sent high-resolution video. Anya at the blackjack table, Frank's arm around her waist. Another clip showed them kissing in the elevator. A third, entering a hotel room together. In every frame, she looked happier than she had with me in months. My phone vibrated, a text from Anya. Shopping's taking longer than expected. I'll be home for dinner. Love you. I stared at the message and simultaneously at footage of her in bed with another man. That's when I decided I wouldn't stay on the defensive any longer. I called Sven back. Change of plans. I don't just want to expose her, I want to catch her red-handed. What do you mean? She thinks she's smarter than me, believes I'm just some dumb tradesman who notices nothing. I want her to know I know everything, and I want Frank standing right there when it happens. How do you plan to do that? The next time she books a trip, you'll help me be there in person, with cameras, witnesses, everything I need so she can never talk her way out of it. Sven was quiet. That sounds pretty intense, Martin. She's been playing hard for 10 months. Now it's my turn. That evening, Anya came home with shopping bags full of clothes, supposedly on sale designer jeans for $300, a handbag worth more than my monthly truck payment. Where'd you get the money for all this? I asked. I've been saving. Besides, I deserve something nice for once. Saving from my money, my cards, my trust. You're right, I said. You deserve everything you've earned. She smiled and kissed me goodnight. I lay awake in bed, plotting her downfall. Tuesday morning, Sven's complete report arrived by email. 53 pages of documentation. Credit card statements, surveillance photos, hotel registration lists, and witness statements from casino staff. The scale of Anya's deception was staggering. She'd used multiple credit cards linked to my accounts cards I'd never seen before. She'd called Deutsche Bank, claimed she needed additional cards for business expenses, and had them sent to her office address. The spending went far beyond what I'd discovered. Private dining rooms, luxury shopping sprees, couples spa treatments. She'd even bought jewelry for Frank A. 2,600 watch engraved, "For my love, forever." But the worst part was the staff interviews. The blackjack dealer knew them as Mr. and Mrs. Wagner. For months, Anya had posed as Frank's wife. The restaurant hostess described them as one of our favorite couples. They visit monthly and always request the same table. The concierge remembered Anya asking about anniversary packages and romantic surprises for her husband. She wasn't just having an affair, she'd built a whole second life. I searched online for Frank's company details. Kraus Construction Equipment GmbH, headquartered in Munich. Married to a woman named Nadine. 2 kids, big house in Warnemünde. On the company website, he appeared at industry events, almost always with Nadine at his side, the perfect image of a family man. I wondered if Nadine knew her husband spent weekends in Baden-Baden with another man's wife on that man's dime. I called Sven. I want to expand the plan. How? Frank's married. His wife knows about Anya as little as I knew about Frank. She has a right to the truth. Martin, are you sure you want to drag more people into this? Frank dragged his wife in the moment he started sleeping with mine. She just doesn't know it yet. I pulled up Nadine Wagner's social media profiles. She worked as a pediatric nurse, posted photos of her kids at soccer games and dance recitals, shared articles about family recipes and marriage counseling. She seemed like a good woman, married to a liar. Sven, I need one more favor. What now? I need to know when Frank's next trip to Baden-Baden is, and whether Anya's booked anything yet. Sven called back an hour later. Frank has a standing reservation the last weekend of every month presidential suite, Thursday to Sunday. Next one's in 10 days. Anya? No booking yet, but based on the pattern, she'll reserve this week. I was right. Wednesday evening over dinner, Anya mentioned another business trip. Statewide sales meeting in Wiesbaden, she said, same dates as last month. I'll probably leave Thursday afternoon and be back Sunday evening. Wiesbaden again? Weren't you just there? It's quarterly now new company policy. She'd grown careless with her lies, or simply assumed I'd stopped paying attention. Will you miss me? She asked, touching my hand across the table. Of course, I said. I always miss you when you're away. She smiled. I miss you too. Before we continue, subscribe to our channel and comment below which city you're watching from. That night, while Anya slept, I finalized my plan. I'd drive to Baden-Baden Thursday morning. Sven would arrange a hotel suite overlooking the casino floor. I'd record everything with my own cameras, supplementing the casino's official footage. And once I'd gathered enough evidence to demolish every excuse, I'd confront them together. But first, I had to make a call to Warnemünde. Nadine Wagner deserved to know what kind of man her husband really was, and which woman he was betraying her with. Thursday morning, Anya kissed me goodbye and promised to call once she'd landed in Wiesbaden. I waited until her car disappeared around the corner, packed 2 suitcases into my car, and drove to Düsseldorf Airport. I took the IC train to Baden-Baden. Are you really sure about this? Sven asked as we walked through the terminal. Sure about this? Than anything I've done in years. He'd prepared everything. A hotel suite with direct view of the casino floor, professional cameras with telephoto lenses, recording equipment, a laptop connected to the casino's wireless network. Always coordinating with surveillance, Sven said. Everything we record will be backed by official footage. At 4 p.m., I called Anya's phone. Hi, sweetheart. I just landed in Wiesbaden. The weather here is awful. Through my window, I watched her cross the casino floor, heading straight for the elevators. She wore the black dress I'd seen hanging in our closet last week. How's the hotel? I asked as usual. The conference doesn't start till tomorrow, so I'll order room service and go to bed early. At that moment, she entered the elevator with a tall man in a dark blue suit. Frank Wagner. That makes sense. Rest up. I will. I love you, Martin. I love you too. I hung up and started recording. Over the next 3 hours, I documented everything. Anya and Frank at dinner, holding hands across the table. Anya laughing at his jokes. Frank offering her dessert. They both signed the bill with my credit card. Afterward, they returned to the gaming floor. Anya sat on Frank's lap while he played poker. She kissed his neck whenever he won a hand. They looked like newlyweds. At 8 p.m., I dialed Nadine Wagner's number in Warnemünde. "Hello, Mrs. Wagner. My name is Martin Koch. I'm calling about your husband." Silence. "Is he okay? Did something happen?" "He's fine. But you should know something. Your husband is in Baden Baden right now with my wife. They've been having an affair for 10 months. That's impossible. Frank's on a business trip in Dortmund. Mrs. Wagner, I'm watching him right now in the Baden Baden casino with my wife Anya. They're checked into the presidential suite under his name." I heard her breath catch. "You're lying." "I wish I were. I can send you proof if you'd like to see it." "What kind of proof?" "Surveillance videos, credit card statements, hotel receipts, photos." She started crying. "How long have you known?" "A week. I'm here to confront them both." I can't believe this. We have children. We've been married 12 years. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Wagner, but you deserve the truth." "What will you do?" "I'll make sure you both understand what you've destroyed, and that you face the consequences." A long silence. "Can you send me that proof?" "Yes." "What's your email address?" See, after hanging up, I sent Nadine the full dossier Sven had prepared, 40 pages, documenting her husband's double life. Then I called the front desk. "This is Martin Koch from Suite 47. Please deliver a message to Frank Wagner in the presidential suite. His wife Nadine is trying to reach him. It's urgent." Minutes later, I watched Frank glance at his phone at the blackjack table. His face went chalk white. He grabbed Anya's arm and whispered in her ear. Both looked panicked. Phase 2 was about to begin. I waited until they returned to their suite, then headed for the elevator. Sven had given me a master key card. "For security purposes," he'd said. "What you do with it is your business." At 11 p.m., I knocked on their door. "Room service," I called. Frank opened it in a hotel bathrobe. His face shifted from confusion to sheer horror when he saw me. "Good evening, Frank. We need to talk." I pushed past him into the suite. Anya sat on the sofa in a silk nightgown, champagne glass in hand. When she saw me, the glass slipped from her fingers and shattered on the marble floor. "Martin, what are you doing here? How was Wiesbaden?" I asked, placing a brown envelope on the coffee table. Anya's mouth opened and closed like a fish, no words coming out. Frank found his voice first. "Listen, I can explain. Explain that you've been sleeping with my wife for 10 months while she squandered my money? I'm eager to hear that explanation." I opened the folder. Surveillance photos slid across the table, credit card statements, hotel receipts, everything. 47,000, Anya. That's how much you stole from me to fund this little vacation fantasy. Anya stared at the evidence. "You had me followed. You hired a private investigator. I didn't need to. My brother Sven runs this casino. Did you know that? Every camera, every transaction, every lie fully documented." Frank backed toward the bedroom. "I'm calling security." "Go ahead. Ask for Uwe Becker. He's been helping me compile evidence for a week." Finally, Anya spoke. "Martin, please, let me explain. Explain that you introduced yourself as Mrs. Wagner, that you bought him a watch with my credit card, that you lied to me every single day for the past 10 months? She started crying. "It just happened. I didn't plan it." "Oh, so you didn't plan to open credit cards in my name? Didn't plan to invent business trips? Didn't plan to live a double life?" Frank stepped forward. "We never wanted it to go this far." "Oh, but it's going much further than you think. Nadine knows. Frank, I called your wife 3 hours ago. Sent her everything, photos of you two. Hotel bills from your monthly Baden Baden trips? Credit card statements proving you invented business conferences? Frank's face turned ashen. You called Naden? Tomorrow she'll file for divorce. She's taking the kids, the house, everything, and she was very grateful for the evidence. Frank collapsed into an armchair. I looked at Anya. And you'll discover that credit card identity theft is a serious offense. The casino has documents proving you forged my signature multiple times. Martin, please, 12 years of marriage. 12 years you threw away for this. I gestured to the champagne, the silk nightgown, the luxury suite paid for by another man while I financed the whole thing. You wanted the high life. You've got about 3 more minutes of it. I headed for the door, but turned back once more. Checkout's at 11. Your train back to Dortmund leaves at 1 p.m., and you'll find divorce papers on the kitchen table when you get home. I left them in their shattered paradise, surrounded by proof of their lies. 3 months later, I signed the final divorce papers in my lawyer's office in Dortmund. Anya sat across from me at the conference table, looking as if she'd aged 5 years in 12 weeks. The casino's surveillance videos and financial records had made the divorce proceedings clear-cut. Her lawyer couldn't refute the evidence of fraud and embezzlement. She got nothing but her clothes and her car. Credit card companies were equally unforgiving. Anya faced 3 separate fraud charges for unauthorized accounts. Her financial advisor license was suspended pending criminal proceedings. Schulte Partner Financial Consulting fired her the day after the scandal broke. Frank Wagner lost everything, too. Naden got the house, the kids, and half his company. His business reputation suffered as fraud allegations went public. Several major clients terminated contracts, unwilling to work with someone under criminal investigation. Criminal proceedings were still ongoing, but both Anya and Frank faced significant prison time and restitution payments that would last years. I kept the house in Freiburg and my construction business. Without Anya's hidden debts and fraud, my finances actually improved. I hired a new bookkeeper and implemented a 2-person approval system for all major payments. Sven visited from Baden-Baden one weekend after the divorce. We sat on my terrace, drinking beer, watching the sunset. Any regrets? He asked. I thought about it. I regret trusting someone who didn't deserve it, but not exposing the truth. What's next? Building houses, living honestly, maybe taking a real vacation once in a while. I raised my beer. Thanks for having my back, brother. Always. Anja had shown me that love without trust is just an illusion. But she'd also shown me that family loyalty and truth are worth fighting for.